All right. Looks like we are live. And today you get in double the trouble. We have Fran and Kat together talking about something that a lot of people can benefit from, not only their businesses, but their whole entire life.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like everyone knows about it. Everyone talks about it sometimes, but there's not enough. Well, how do you do it? Right. So that's why, because both me and Fran went through enormous personal transformation, and I can see myself in Fran's journey, and she probably can see herself in my journey. So we have a lot of common when it comes to self-belief and how, that's why we want to talk about today, how your own self-belief can either sabotage or supercharge your life. And of course, we want you to be supercharged. That's why we're going to be sharing some incredible stories from our personal transformation story and how you can actually, simple tools, simple ways, how you can supercharge your self-belief so you're going to be unstoppable.
And I am so excited to do this. I mean, this is, I think this is one of the biggest things that holds people back, you know, in their lives. This doesn't just apply to network marketing. This applies to your life in general. Is that if you don't believe in yourself, and if you are holding yourself back from achieving your greatness,
from your greatness, yes.
From your greatness. Sorry, I've got a glass of wine here, and I nearly knocked the thing over. That would have been a disaster. I was like getting so excited.
Yeah, so let us know, guys, while you're hopping on, who you are, where are you coming in from, say hello. And we have a question for you, which is kind of like the egg and the chicken type of question. What comes first, the egg or the chicken? And we want you to answer it and be honest. And there's no right or wrong answer, right? Whatever you answer, it's the right answer for you. And we just want to know where you at in your self-belief journey. So we want to ask you that, and you can drop it in the comments below. What do you think comes first when it comes to anything in life? Belief or the results? Like, are you this kind of person that need to see the results first before you're going to believe in it? Or are you this kind of person who thinks that you got to believe in it first and the results will come? So let us know. I don't see comments on my side, friend. Do you see it?
No, I was actually just going to find it in my phone here and just check that we are actually live in the right place. Let us know if you're watching, let us know if you can see us, if we're live in the right place.
That would be good if we're live in the right place. That would be like magic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to find us.
We're here. So
yay, we're
let
there.
us know if you're joining us. Say hello, and let us know if this is something that you've struggled with. I think, as I said before, this is the biggest thing that holds people back. And so, you know, Kat's question: do you think belief comes first, or do you think your results come first? Do you think you need to actually see those results before you actually start believing that, you know, do you think that you need to have, you know, have a big team and have, you know, have the money in your bank account and have, you know, all the customers and have everything before you actually start believing in yourself? To be honest, when I started out, I was kind of like that because, you know,
it's your skeptical mind kicks in. You got to see it, right? Before you're going to believe it. That's your logical, skeptical mind. It's actually, if someone into science, it's your left part of the brain. Some people are like that. Show them the science and they will get it. Like, oh my gosh, I totally get it. But some people are more like different way. But I know both answers for science people and spiritual people. So that's kind of like I would say I'm balanced. I need both. I always need both. So, and actually, if any of you guys ever were thinking like, oh my gosh, I wish there was like a magic button to turn my life around, this topic that we're talking right now, me and Fran, this is that magic button. Yeah. It's not a lot of times what you're doing, what actions you're taking every day. Those are important, but it's what energy and what kind of belief you putting into actions. This is your magic sauce, that magic button that everyone's chasing somewhere, buying a course, following this person, doing this thing. But the change has to happen on the inside before the outside will catch up to that. I hope that might not make sense for a lot of you right now, but you'll get it.
It is an inside job. It's 100% an inside job, and you need to work on the story that you're telling yourself every day. What's happening in the 6 inches between your ears every single day. If I go back a couple of years ago, oh my goodness, I was a train wreck. Like to start out, I was literally faking it. I was that person who was faking it till I made it. I was faking it, but inside of me, I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe that I was worthy. I didn't believe that I could do it. I couldn't see the success. I couldn't see the results. I couldn't see anything. Okay.
You couldn't see it happening for you. Right. And I actually have a really good example. And if Marina is watching it, she'll be like, man, she's talking about that thing again. So we were at a conference of our company a couple years ago, and some toppest earner of the whole entire company, like one of the diamonds you can put on your badge, right, shows up on stage delivering some speech. And I'm actually looking at that person and I'm thinking, I can see myself being like, at that moment, I already had it. My belief was up. I can see myself going up on the stage and delivering the same speech and wearing the same diamond badge or whatever, right? I can totally do it. And I asked her, Marina, do you see yourself up on the stage maybe a year, 2, maybe even 5 years from now? Doesn't matter how long. And she said, no. And that's where it hit me, like, well, some people feel it and know it's possible, and some people just don't. And that's actually how I thought when I was in the same shoes. Like you said, don't believe in. I was in those shoes for many, many years. And I thought, well, there's these people who are so amazing. And it seems like they were born that way. They have that some kind of confident energy around them. And I want to be like them. In reality, I was the opposite. I had a lot of fear, a lot of doubt, was afraid that people will be judging me for what I'm doing. So I'm always trying to please people. I would have this kind of like, I'm not worthy type of thing. Even if this happened to me, I was like, I don't need $1 million. This is like shameful to have that much money. Why would I want it?
Yeah.
So can you guys relate to that? Like,
let us know. Yeah, let us know.
I think there's this cool people who are amazing and they're successful, and there's normal people who are just following the masses and living their life in mediocrity, you put it that way. And they don't know that it's not something you're born with. It's something you can grow and develop. Right? It's like a muscle. You have to build that muscle.
It's something that you become. And so when I looked at some of those people, because I was the same, and I looked at those people and I thought, well, like how do they get up? How do they get up on stage? How do they talk so confidently? How do they do what they're doing? And I looked at it and I thought, well, actually, what do they have that I don't have? And I thought, they're actually no different to me. They're no different to me, but they have worked on themselves, and they have worked on that muscle. Like Kat said, it's a muscle, and they've worked so hard on themselves to build that confidence, to build that self-belief. And it takes massive, massive courage, and courage. It is courage to actually to keep doing the things when you're shit scared. I'm going to say it like it is. When you are shit scared to do the things that you need to do, but to keep doing them. Because the more that you do them and the more that you take action, the more that you do what you need to do, that all of a sudden you find yourself like becoming more confident. You find yourself becoming like that person that you admire, that person that you would love to be like. And you realize that actually we've all started out where Kat and I were. Everyone has started out there. Most people have started out there.
Nobody's born confident or amazing. I mean, few people carry that energy through their birth, but it's like exception of the rule. The rule is we're all very insecure, very uncomfortable, and you have to grow. You have to grow out of it. Let's put it that way. And the best part is that's actually what me and Fran are going to teach you, the how part, how you can build your own confidence muscle, or in other words, how you can tune into that badass energy that you need to have in order to be that leader, that unstoppable person, to create your new world, your new business, whatever it is that you're working on. So we actually going to get into the hows, because we can talk about it for hours and hours and hours. But how you actually do it, since majority of people are not born with it, you have to build it, right?
Yeah.
So if I look at myself, even if I watch my videos, sometimes I'm like, "Ooh, I said that? That was a badass thing." But before, I would look at myself and be judging, like, "Oh, why did you wear that? You didn't put any lipstick on. How come?" Your voice sounds so not natural. It sounds bad when I listen to myself. I would notice all the negative things instead of noticing the good thing. And this is actually how majority of people are. But you need to learn how successful people think, how successful people act, and how they're even being. So you have to learn a whole new concept, and it's super learnable. And it's not that hard, but like friend said, it takes a lot amount of your own self-power. And when they said it's not you against the world, it's you against yourself. That's what makes it hard. You against yourself makes it hard.
Yeah, super hard. And so like for me, one of the big things to actually, this is one of the steps, is for me, the first step to actually building the self-confidence was actually surrounding myself with people who had what I wanted. Surrounding myself with people who were there, and I felt like I was here. In fact, I wasn't here. Okay. When I look back, I'm thinking, okay, I wasn't there. I was not that far from them, but I didn't see myself there. So surrounding yourself with people who are where you want to be, who have that confidence, who have that success, who have that belief in themselves, okay, and feeding off their energy, because their energy is what is going to help you, because that belief it's just an energy. It's all energy. Okay. I'm learning all about this, and I'm learning it from Kat. You've taught me so much about it, but that self-belief is just it's energy. And when you surround yourself with people who have that energy, who have that self-belief, and feed off their energy, is that you will become like them, but learn from them. Okay. And borrowing, when somebody says you have done a good thing, when somebody says you're a badass, when somebody says that is amazing.
Do you remember, Fran, a particular moment? Because I do remember my moment. I want to see if you remember a particular moment where you actually told yourself, well, maybe I am a badass.
Yeah.
Do you remember, like, maybe somebody told you something?
Yeah.
Maybe it was some video you watched. Like, do you remember that moment?
Yeah, very clearly.
Share it.
It was so the moment, it's not that long ago. It's not that long ago, and it was, in fact, it was in May 2019. Okay.
2 years ago.
Yeah. And you and Brandy came to me and said, Fran, we want to start a group. We want to start delivering training. We want you to come and do it with us. And I thought, holy shit. I did.
We thought that you were such a badass. We wanted you to be on our team.
And so this was, you see, and right then, I was still doubting myself. I was still struggling. I was still struggling with that self-belief, complete lack of self-belief. I was sabotaging myself at every single turn, honestly. You know, I would do something for a bit and then I think, oh no, you're not good enough. Oh, you're not worthy. You're never going to see success. You're never going to be making the money that you want to make. You're never going to replace your income from dentistry. You're never going to do any of those things that you want to do. And it was that moment. It was literally, it was that moment. And I thought, oh.
So you took someone else's belief.
I took somebody else's
belief. And you said, what if it's actually truth? Let me believe in it too.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
And I thought, if those two badasses, because like those two badasses think that I'm good enough to do this, maybe I am. And I thought, actually, it's time, Fran, to step up. And I did.
To step up, yeah. So my moment,
I remember that moment so clearly. It's like crystal clear in my head.
So my moment was a little bit sooner. So when we decided to build a new group and came to you, I was already had my badass energy going. It wasn't as high as it now, but it was going. So my badass turnaround happened when I came back from one of the live workshops, like about network marketing and stuff. I learned so much in there, but I still had a lot of doubt and all of that stuff. Low self-belief, and someone sent me a message. It was Tony Incasati, I think his name is. Yeah. Tony Incasati. So he sent me a personal message because we met at that event, like just for the first time or whatever. He sent me a message, Kat, whatever you did at that workshop, I just got up and shared from my heart. Like people start crying because they could see themselves in my story. And I don't actually know where that came from, because normal me would be sitting in the back, being afraid of raising hand or sharing something personal. But it's like something possessed me. I raised my hand, I got up, and the shared heartfelt stuff like came out of me. And people were crying because they could see themselves in my story. And I guess inspired and moved a lot of people. But at the same time, I was a nobody. Like I had nothing that would be like, it just the fact that I could stand up and share stuff like this, I guess, moved a lot of people. So he sent me a message saying, Kat, whatever you did at that workshop, it's such a badass. Like you're totally badass. And then somebody else sent me a similar message. I was like, all these people think that I'm a badass. Well, maybe I am. Like, maybe I should start acting like one for a change and see what happens. So how one simple, someone's message telling me that I'm a badass can turn all your life around. So that's when my journey started, thinking that I might be one. And let's actually act like one and think like one and see what happens. So this was my turning point. So I will also share the how part, how you build your muscle. Like you, friend, said, being around people like this, it's a must because you will rub off that energy. And I could carry like 2-3 months after I come from events like that, where I'm surrounded by people with this kind of confident energy. Now I create my own events to help other people with their energy. Like this is another step of this journey. But so my first thing that I had to do differently is to start putting myself first.
Yeah.
It was very uncomfortable because all my life I was taught that put other people first and you're the last one, or you're actually never. That wasn't, you're never because you don't deserve it. You don't need any of this stuff. So you're never. And starting putting myself first before my kids, before my husband, before my job, before my business, a lot of times that was very uncomfortable. But once I learned how to do it and understood why I need to do that, it was a huge, huge step in building that confidence.
Yeah. Super important to actually just to value yourself. We don't value ourselves.
Yeah, you have to value yourself high enough to start putting yourself first.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if you don't value yourself, if I value myself, I value other people. But it's very hard to value other people if you don't actually even value yourself.
Absolutely.
You know, so yeah.
Remember, like when we were about 3, 4, 5 years old, we thought that we are like the most amazing person in the world. Right? You think like you're the whole universe spinning around you, right? And you're so special and amazing. And we lose that feeling along the way, right? We totally, completely lose it. But we need to tap into that same feeling that you're the most amazing person in the whole entire world, but not from the point of ego, like, oh, I'm better than you. I'm better than me 2 years ago. That's who I'm better, right? I'm not better than any of the people around me, but I'm better than me yesterday.
Yeah.
And I am the most amazing person in the world for me, right? That's how you have to find that feeling that you felt when you were 3 or 2 or 5, when you thought that you're the most amazing person in the whole entire world. Because if we're going to go even a little bit deeper, for the energy that created you, right? Let's put it, we're not going to name it God, we're not going to name it anything else. For the energy that created you, that took time, that took the idea to create you, took the energy to create you, that energy that doesn't create anything but awesome. It took time and effort to create you, right? You are awesomest thing for that energy that made you. So why don't you act like one?
Exactly.
Why don't you believe it? Yeah. Why do you need some kind of crisis or something for things to start changing? Right. Just think about it. The same energy that created the whole entire universe or whatever took time and effort and idea to create you. It didn't create you to be mediocre or average. No.
and this is the thing, is it you are perfect. You are perfect. Okay? And you have everything inside of you to do whatever you want to do. But Kat was talking about, you know, from when you're born to the age of about 3 or 5. And then from then to now is when everybody else's opinions of you, what your teachers say, what maybe your parents say, what other people say about you, what fellow classmates say about you, starts to feed into that lack of self-belief. It all starts to feed because people start saying, oh no, you're stupid, or you're not clever enough, or you're too fat, or you're too thin, or you're too tall, or your hair's too curly, or your nose is too big.
Your nose too big.
Yeah, your lips are too fat. You've got funny eyes. Your face is crooked. Your one eyebrow's below. Yeah, and all these things make us start.
They start dimming your light.
Exactly.
Right? They dim your light.
Yeah.
And you become average. You become the gray mass that just follows something and doesn't even dare to think there's something better out there for you, waiting for you. When you just step out of that bad energy and create a new one.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just feeds into that bad. And so all those opinions, all those beliefs, all those things, that's none of your business. Okay. It's other people's, and you need to recognize, you need to have a look and think, okay, where do all these beliefs come from? And recognize that actually that maybe came from childhood, maybe came from that teacher, maybe came from that lecturer at university, maybe came from wherever. Okay. It's not you.
The funny part is all those opinions, they were not actually, all those opinions is not what people actually saying to you, but how you taking it. So you actually a lot of times made up those opinions and those stories. Right? I remember someone told me, I think I was about 11 years old, and somebody told me, your legs are like sticks. I was so thin. And maybe they meant that they're so straight like sticks, right? Maybe they meant like, oh, I want to have legs like yours. But how I took it like, oh, my legs are ugly because they're like sticks. I made it up.
Yeah.
So it's not even what people saying to you. Sometimes teachers saying things to make you stronger, to make you better, to make you think faster, right? But we take it the wrong way. We make up those things. So that's another thing to look at it. So, and I told Fran before we started our conversation that I went back to my whole entire life, as far as I could remember, all the little things that I could remember. And I started looking for those badass moments that I've done. Maybe it was during your first grade play that you made your own costume or whatever. And that was such a badass thing. I remember my teacher in second grade gave me some task to make 20 picture of 20 cardboard mice because she needed it for something. I'm like, that's such a badass. I made 20 cardboard mice when I was only 7, and they looked amazing. And everybody thought they were amazing, but I told myself they were crap, and I was embarrassed to show them to the teacher. So I went back to all these moments and started looking for badass things that I've achieved instead of looking for the negative stuff, because that's how I was all my life, looking for the negative, because nothing was ever good enough for me. Oh, you always can be better. You always can talk louder and walk straighter or whatever. Your hair always can be more shiny, or your face can always be less wrinkly. So it takes some time, but once you're aware what you have done to your own life and your own energy, and you start taking little steps to change it around, a lot of good things going to happen to you, and you will be amazed what you can accomplish if you just get rid of that weight on your shoulders that you created. Not anybody else did it for you.
Yeah. So it's up to you. It is all up to you. So should we wrap this up and tell them?
Yeah, I guess I want to share just how how this different self-belief helped me to change my life. Like how my life how success speed up to my energy, right? Once I change the energy, all these events start happening in my life, and I start getting the results that I wanted to get.
Exactly.
So, and actually, if somebody told me 4 or 5 years ago that I would quit my day job, that I would build a multi-million-dollar company, not alone, of course, with the help of incredible people with the same energy and ideas, in a matter of a year, that would totally blow my socks off. And I would say, you're nuts. You're absolutely nuts. And at that time I said, if somebody told me, oh, what if I give you $1 million? I would tell them, no, this is shame to have that much money. Yeah. You don't need that much money. Now I even look at money as the tool to help more people. Money is a good energy. Money does not buy you happiness, but it can buy you freedom. Let's put it that way. So, and that's what people want. They want freedom. So money is the tool to get you that freedom. And the more you have it, the more you can share it with other people. So this is kind of like how it affected my life. And now I have so much joy and so much fulfillment when I see other people getting it. Like the light bulb goes in their brain. I can see it on their face. Like they get it. Like it gives me so much, I don't know, you can call it ecstasy or whatever you call it. That's what I'm here for. I want people to have those moments when they turn their lives around and they know that they can achieve whatever is that their crazy mind gonna decide.
Whatever they put their mind to, they can achieve. And nothing is ever actually going to stop them. They're not going to let anything, like whatever happens for a reason. Whatever happens to you on that journey, good or bad, it's never good or bad. It is happening for a reason, to teach you a lesson, to help you It's happening for you to help you get where you want to be. And so, yeah, so surround yourself with people who are where you want to be. Feed off their energy. If the people that you are surrounded by are dragging you down, if the people that you're surrounded by are negative Nellies, if they are self-doubting negative Nellies, I can't think of another word, you need to find other people to surround yourself by, okay? Because you will feed off that energy, and that energy will drag you down, and you will sabotage yourself at every single turn. Surround yourself with people who are where you want to be, who have that belief and who believe in you, and borrow their belief in you until you get there. Yeah. And what was the other one? I can't think now.
That's kind of it. And probably the simplest thing and the first thing you should do is start treating yourself like you are a badass. Talk to yourself like you are a badass. Praise yourself like you are a badass. As much as uncomfortable it's going to be in the beginning, and your analytical mind going to tell you, no, you're not. You just keep doing it, and you see how it's going to change your entire life. It's not that hard. It's a battle with you, but it's so worth it.
It's actually the words that you tell yourself. It's the words you tell yourself every day. Like, okay, well, this might work, or I'm going to try this, or I'm going to try that. If you say I'm going to try, and see if it works,
it's going to happen.
It's not going to happen. So you need to change everything. Change the way you think. Change the way you speak to yourself. Stop. Tell yourself, I am a success. I have this. I am where, whatever. But stop. You change the way that you speak to yourself, and like everything just starts changing. That whole energy starts changing, and it happens. And
when you have this energy around you, that's kind of like, oh my gosh, like you look at some people, it's like, I want to be like them when I grow up, right? You can be that person a lot sooner than you think, right? If you just change the energy around yourself, and your relationship with your spouse will change for the better. Your relationship with your kids, your relationship at work, if you're still doing the regular work, and the business. So, and usually how it happens, the craziest ideas will come to your mind, and you will decide to go for it. The right people will come along out of nowhere sometimes. The right tools will come along the way out of nowhere. And actually, me and friend were joking about it. She shared that she has pain in her neck and her shoulder for a while. And I said, well, you just put it in the universe that you need solutions, and it will come. And I said, well, you have to be like quiet, because not only Facebook listening, well, we were joking, they might be not. But I said, sometimes I will think about something. I'm not even going to tell anybody. And I don't know how in the world they figure. I get email about it, or a post about it, or something about it. And boom, the same day I sent friend, guess what popped in my email today? It was some kind of neck device, neck massager for pain and stuff. Like, there you go.
At the same time, I had something appear, because I was on Amazon, and I had something appear in my Amazon, like suggested things, and it was like a heat thing that went around my neck and massaged at the same time. And it was like this thing that went around. I'm thinking, well, how the hell did that appear? Like, I've never looked for that ever.
You didn't Google anything like this. You didn't put in the search on Facebook or anywhere, but you sent that energy that you need healing help, and boom, it comes to you one way or another. So the same with your business, the same with your relationships. You just have to change your energy around it, and everything else will match up to it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Awesome. This has been so fun.
I hope we got your guys, brains rolling, or your fire igniting again. And it's just kind of like a little glimpse on what actually is possible for you on your journey, right? We want to give you the tools. We want to give you the hows, but it's up to you whether or not you're going to do it.
Yeah.
So we open a little door of possibilities for you. And now it's your responsibility to walk through that door.
And so often you can have all the tools and you can have all the everything, but if you don't have it in here,
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. You're going to keep sabotaging yourself. So you need to actually work on yourself first. That for me, that's like the most important thing, is keep working on yourself. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I hope you've had value from this. If you've had value from this, let us know if you've had value from this, and let us know what your biggest takeaway. Let us know what your biggest takeaway has been, and we will see you again soon.
Yes.